a hazy headlight. Mine aren't too bad because I actually did them a few years back, but they're starting to yellow and fade a little bit. But today we're going to go ahead and show you. This is the before one. It's a little dull, pretty clear, but still needs a little bit of work. I can see the yellowing on it. And this is the one I just completed. On this side, you'll see the difference. Um, Basically, we'll show you how to do it for less than 20 bucks. So here are the items that we're going to use. Most of you probably have these in your household already. We're going to use a little bit of isopropyl alcohol. That'll help clean things up as we're getting finished. We're going to use a little bit initially. So we're going to use a 20 grit sand or 220 grit sandpaper. A nice warm soapy bucket of water. And a little bit of clear coat when we get towards the finishing stages of things, and then we'll polish it off with just a nice thin wax. Basically that's it. Those are the entire products we're going to use, and also a dirty towel that hopefully your wife won't get mad if you tear up and throw out afterwards. So let's get started. So we got the light all taped up. I just used a little bit of household tape, painting tape that was laying around the house. As you can see, there's a little bit of fogging around the lens. That's okay. So this was done about probably maybe 4 years ago. Again, it's a $20 fix, and so we don't have to go overboard with the taping. We just want to put it around just to protect the paint while we're initially sanding. So we're going to start off using a 220 grit sandpaper and just try to remove all that hazing and all the residue that's on top of that lens just to get it cleaned up, and then we'll continue from there. So initially we're going to go ahead with the 220 grit sandpaper, a little bit bucket of warm water. As you can see, it's that I've been cleaning with it earlier. But just get some clean soapy warm water. We're going to use a wet sand for this. We're going to go ahead and just get things started. Now, as you can see, everything's clear right now. Don't panic. Your headlight, and I'll show you when I'm finished, will become hazy. It'll look scratched, but don't worry about that. So we're going to take care of that as well with the 600 grit. That will smooth things out, make it nice and clean from when we put that clear coat on. So let's get going. So this is what it looks like after doing the 220 sandpaper. As you can see, it's cloudy, it's scratched, but don't panic. That's what the next step will be using a 600 grain sandpaper or higher. You can go higher if you'd like. What that'll do is it'll smooth out the scratches, clear up the lens for us to put the final coat on. So the next step in our process is the 600 grit. As you can see, it's very smooth. You can go higher if you'd like. What we'll do is we're going to actually use again a wet sand. This will help smooth out all the scratches that are in from the 220. As you'll see, when I'm finished, it will be a much clearer lens, and that will allow us to finally put the clear coat on and get things polished up. As you can see, as we continue with the 600 grit, the lens is starting to clear up. So we have not put any polish or anything like that. We'll continue further just to get a little bit smoother. We really want to have it smooth to the touch. And after that's finalized, we'll go ahead and put the clear coat on. So now after it's about maybe a good solid 30 minutes to an hour with the 600 grain wet sanding, this is the point where you want it to get. So you can see the lens, it looks fairly clear as it's drying. It's not going to be completely clear, but as you can see, it's smooth. All the gunk that was on the top of the lens is cleared off. It's drying pretty clear as well. So now this, we can go to the next step. So now we'll go ahead and put the clear coat on it. So now that we have the area retaped and ready to put the clear coat on, this is what I prefer. This is the Rust-Oleum Ultra Cover gloss clear coat. We want to put about 3 coats on this. I'm going to put the phone down and get the first coat on. You want to spray very evenly and lightly. Just remember not to put too much at a time. You want to have about 3 to 4 coats is typically works well. Then after that you can polish it. But we'll go ahead and get this started and I'll show you the results after. So this is what the lens looks like after the first coat of clear coat. We'll let that sit for 15 minutes and we'll put a second coat on and then a third, and then after that we were finished. We'll go ahead and put some polish on that just because it's going to rain tonight. Alright, it's been about 15 minutes. So you can see one spot I put it on a little bit thick and it dripped a little bit. See, that's what happens when you try to rush things. But as you can see, it looks pretty clear. We're going to now put the second coat on and get this thing finished up. And there we go. We have the third coat of clear coat on. As you can see, for less than $20, you can do this at home. No point in paying top dollar for some kit that'll last probably less time, and just takes a little bit of elbow grease. We'll put some wax on it and call it a day. And there we go. We have finished all the headlights. So that's how you fix a faded headlight for under $20. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and feel free to leave a comment if you'd like.